Matteo and his wife Carla used to have a full, rich life, full of happiness, friends, and family. They were proud of their daughter, Lucia, and loved their grandson, Emilio, very much. Matteo and Carla used to make dinner together each night and would sit down at the table and eat together every day. They loved cooking together. Since Carla passed, Matteo has been feeling increasingly lonely in his house, living all by himself. Even when his daughter and grandson come to visit, he can't bring himself to cook for them, something he used to love. He doesn't eat much, and when he does cook, he makes himself something easy. He lost a significant amount of weight, 5% of his body weight in 6 months to be exact, and feels tired all the time. He takes multiple naps throughout the day, often skipping lunch and sometimes dinner. Lucia becomes worried about him. One day, Lucia and Emilio bring their dog to Matteo's house and they go for a walk downtown. While walking, the family passes the local community center and Lucia suggests that they go and check it out. Matteo is quickly approached by George. George notices Matteo is new and welcomes him to the center. They quickly find out that they have the same favorite baseball team and bond fast. A volunteer at the center approaches Lucia and Emilio and asks them to leave because the dog cannot be in the building without proper paperwork. Lucia encourages Matteo to stay though and offers to pick him up later for dinner, which he agrees to. While talking sports with George, he asks if he ever plays ball with his grandson. Matteo says that he used to, but he just doesn't have the energy anymore. George mentions that he used to feel that way too, but when he started going to the center a couple times a week, then he felt like he had a lot more energy. The volunteer gathers everyone in a circle where they do warm-up activities and then play a couple of games, one of them being catch. Matteo surprises himself with his skills and enjoys the game. George asks if he'll come again, and Matteo says yes. Later, when Lucia, Matteo, and Emilio are eating dinner, Matteo almost clears his plate. After a month, Matteo has gained almost all his weight back and has started going to the center twice a week with George to exercise and learn new skills. He has started cooking for himself again and gets out for walks with Emilio and the dog once a week because he learned that getting outside can help with negative feelings. He goes to George's house for dinner once a week where they try a new recipe that neither of them have ever cooked before. He starts to feel less isolated and less tired. Maria hates living by herself. Recently, she had a couple falls and her doctor told her that she needs to use a cane to walk. She feels old and doesn't see the point of going out anymore. She only goes to the grocery store when she needs to. She has been to the center before, but doesn't really feel up to going most weeks. Her cousin Isabella goes twice a week, and Maria likes to see her there, but still doesn't feel well enough to go most of the time. One day, she forgets to use her cane and trips and falls on the throw rug in her house. She ends up in the hospital. Isabella comes to visit her and rushes in the room asking what happened and if she was okay. Maria becomes very emotional talking to Isabella and states that she is useless, just doesn't get the point of anything anymore, and she wishes that she could just be with her husband Carlos. Isabella holds her hand and cries with her. The next day, while recuperating at home, Isabella brings her some food and some information her son printed out online. Isabella was scared by what Maria said about wanting to die, and so she did some research about therapy. Isabella found some counselors in the area that provide services to older adults and even offered to drive Maria to her appointments. Maria does not like the idea of therapy and says that she is not crazy and that only crazy people need therapy. Isabella leaves a pile of papers on her table and starts to leave. Maria is so upset with the idea that she slams the door behind Isabella after she goes. A picture frame with a photo of Maria and her late husband, Carlos, falls from the wall and breaks. Taped to the back of the picture frame was a note. Inside of the note it reads, "My dearest Maria, you have given me every joy in this life. You have made me a brave man, and you have allowed me to find happiness in ways I never would have expected. I wish you the same, even after I am gone. Love, Carlos." Maria cries and holds the letter tight to her chest. She knows Carlos wouldn't want her to waste her life away in sadness. The next day, she calls Isabella and apologizes. Isabella drives her to her first appointment. A month later, Maria goes to the center once a week with Isabella and sees a therapist weekly. She makes new connections with people that go there and even learns a few new things. She is running her own support group and knows that therapy saved her life. She has found new meaning and her self-esteem has risen.